A guten Chodesh. Mishnichtes Adar Marbin Besimcha. We say Tachas Hanatzus Yale Beroish V'Tachas HaSirpod Yale Hados. That's one of the psukim that one of the Amoyers brings down in the Gemara Megillah when he started talking about Purim and Mikra Megillah, and he wanted to teach us Talmidim. So he said the Yesod, the foundation of the entire Yom Tov of Purim, is the explanation of this pasuk. This pasuk tells us that under different types of thorns come out beautiful plants. Underneath Haman came out Mordechai, and underneath Vashti came out Esther. What is this telling us? And the idea is a well-known principle in Judaism is that there's two ways that God works with us. He either works with us as we call V'alachtem imi bekeri, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu says if you look at everything that goes on in your life as happenstance, as a random occurrence, this that you got your job, that you found your wife, that you had traffic in the morning, that you didn't get your raise that you wanted, it's happenstance. It's a random occurrence. It's a coincidence. It's the way life is. Then Hashem says, I work with you the same way. And therefore your entire life will be one of random occurrences without God's assistance, without God's intervention. But if you realize that underneath everything, all of those, what we consider teva, we consider nature, that there's something really there, there's hashgacha pratis, there's God's divine intervention. He's looking down upon us, and He's making every single situation occur to us on a moment-to-moment basis. Then God says, if you look at me in such a way, I will treat you in such a special and personalized manner. That's the way we could be looking at anything that could go on in our lives. And that comes Purim to teach us. Awaken. There's an Amalek out there that doesn't really have a real existence. It's a mirage. It's a smokescreen. It's a total fake. It's a facade. It makes us look at something there. It makes us perceive the world as if there's some random occurrences. But really underneath all, it's all HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's all Hashem, it's all God's intervention, it's all Him. And the question is, are we going to scrape away the top layers and see who's really behind it all? If we stay on the top superficiality, then we end up dealt with in a superficial manner. But if we're dealt with, we look deeper and we realize who's behind it all, what's underneath it all, then we start tasting the sweetness. Then we start appreciating HaKadosh Baruch Hu and God in our lives. That is what we celebrate on Purim. That's what we look forward to in these days. In the 2 weeks that we have from now until Purim to prepare ourselves, is starting to look for the divine intervention in our lives on a moment-to-moment basis. Look what the blessings that God has given us. That's what it means underneath Haman came Mordechai. People look at Haman, terrible, what's going to be? How's my life? How am I going to manage? Look what's going on in society today. How are we going to work? Look what's going on, anti-Semitism, in our personal lives, challenges, struggles. That's going to happen. Look deeper. Look where it's coming from. You'll find Mordechai. Vashti, she's the granddaughter of Nebuchadnezzar. She's an evil queen. Look what she's doing. She hates the Jews. She wants to kill us. She wants to destroy us all. Look underneath it all, and you'll find Esther. If you scrape away the top layers, you take away that superficiality, you look deeper, you look for the hashgacha, for the divine intervention, you'll find the Mordechai and the Esther. You'll find that Purim within each one of us. Let's work on ourselves as we go, as we count down the days to Purim. And we see that hug and that hand, the guiding hand from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from God in our daily lives. We'll be scraping away that top layer, and we'll be tasting the sweetness, the depth of what the meaning and real purpose of our lives is supposed to be. Have a freilichen, Misha Nichnas Adar, Marbin Besimcha, looking forward to a wonderful Purim.